crucially important because last week Michelle O'Neill led a very strong delegation to Phil Hogan, and as well as having the 3 MEPs here from the north, she also was tic-tacking along with Matt Carthy, our MEP, who really has taken the lead for this for us in Europe, as well as Michelle here. And it was quite clear that Phil Hogan was not on the game. He had no real interest in this, trying to say the market's going to balance itself out, farmers will be all right at the end. She didn't miss him and hit the wall. She gave it to him in both barrels, exactly about the pressure that's on the industry, and that's why it's important to see people turn out today in their hundreds in support of what Michelle is saying in Europe, but also to send a message. And the message really, regardless of it not being said here today, but the message is to the unionists infighting that's going on at the moment. The industry that's going to be affected by this, as well as many, many others, is one that they claim to stand and represent, and we all represent, and that's the farming industry. And therefore Michelle O'Neill is going to ensure that farmers get a fair price for their produce. When you look at the fact that they are getting 11 pence to produce a product, and in the supermarket they're selling it close to 70p. That is not fair, and that's what she's arguing for. That's what our MEP Matt Carthy in Europe is arguing for, and that's what Phil Hogan as Commissioner needs to waken up and do a lot more than what he is doing. Michelle's come back over on Monday, and that's the kind of representation that we need, because if it's left to a British Tory, an English minister trying to represent the people here in the north, then she is not interested. She's already said so. She's not going to argue for an intervention and an increase in the prices. She's not going to argue for the needs for our people here and anything, but particularly on this issue.
The key message today is that this represents the full supply chain. We have people here from the farming community right through processors, and in fact there are retailers in the crowd as well. This is a message saying the whole supply chain is affected by the current crises in industry, and really a united call for help. We are in a pretty unique year that all sectors of the farming community are feeling the pressure at the moment, but clearly the biggest one is in the dairy sector, and we need an immediate intervention by Brussels to support the dairy sector. We clearly see a long-term future for Agri-Food. As chairman of the Agri-Food sector, I really do believe that we have a good long-term future, but we have a short-term crisis to get through, and we need to support the farming community through that.
I think what is evident there today was that we all need to come together, all sectors. I know the emphasis this last while has been really on the dairy, but beef, pork and lamb has been suffering ongoing, and have been losing money over the years. And I do think we need strong representation and unity from all the unions and everybody else. We also need local minister who be fighting our corner rather than have a direct real minister, because I think it's evident that in England, they don't have as much emphasis on farming. There's very little lobbying it, so I think if we have a direct real minister here, the farming will be forgot about.
It's so important that so many farmers have come along here today. We have representatives of all sectors of farming. We have representatives of all sectors right along the supply chain. I think that's significant. It sends a very clear message that the farmers wanted to make sure their voice was heard in relation to the crisis that's in the dairy industry at this moment in time. But as I've said, all sectors of farming are actually feeling the pain and feeling the pinch, and they all need to be supported. There are long-term initiatives that we have taken, and we will bring forward a new farm business improvement scheme. We will work towards fairness in the supply chain. But very clearly what we need is action at a European level to help get through this immediate crisis that's facing the farming industry, particularly the dairy sector. I have led strong delegations this week and last week to both DEFRA in England and also to the European Commissioner Phil Hogan. He has turned his head exactly to this issue at this moment in time. I feel that he's been very slow to actually recognise there's been a crisis in the industry, but I have made sure that he is in no uncertain terms as to the unique circumstances that are facing dairy farmers here in Ireland. I've made sure that he is very clear as to why we need support and why we need it now, because if we don't help these farmers get through this immediate crisis, we will not have farmers to produce in the future. I will lead again another delegation to Brussels on Monday. I will be taking part in the European Commission meeting, which will discuss the future supports. I've made my case to the European Commissioner. It's now time for Europe to take action to support the farming industry, to make sure that we have a viable, sustainable industry into the future. There was a fantastic slogan put on a sign here today. It said, my grandfather once said, once in your lifetime you'll need a lawyer or a solicitor, you'll need a policeman, you'll need a fireman, but 3 times a day you'll need a farmer. And I think that's a very strong message that we need to get across. We need farmers to be able to produce food for us as people. I think that the message also today was very strong around why the farming industry, the agri-food industry, and in fact every other industry needs this executive to work, why they need local parties to work together. They need locally elected politicians taking decisions, fighting their corner and making sure that everything is in the best interest of our local population. So that message was very strong and very clear today. I will deliver the letter that I've been given to the executive on behalf of the agri-food industry that very clearly points out why they need the executive to work, why they need locally elected politicians and why they want us to work together and into the future. Sinn Féin are certainly up for that. We want to be part of the talks process. We want to discuss with other parties the needs of our local people, and we will not be found wanting in terms of our position going forward.